Evening, y'all. How's it going? Welcome to another Lockdown Live chat, our penultimate episode of the year. Pretty crazy that we've been doing this 2 years already. But yeah, following up from last week, we actually were joined with France the Planet. We were talking a little bit about South African metal and the year that was 2021 in SA metal. This week, we decided to go a little bit more macro, go a little bit more broader. So before we introduce our illustrious guests, my co-host has a little bit of interesting news to drop on all of us. So yeah, my notorious co-host from Joburg, Mr. Alec Lyle, how is it going?
Oh, it's good, man. Yeah, so a little bit of news. It's very difficult to read this logo, especially with it being backwards. But the new Helica single featuring Duncan Bentley of Vulvodynia is out on a YouTube channel called Beheading the Traitor. The song's called Dear Disemboweled. It's a love song. No, I'm joking, it's not. But yeah, no, it's out now. So guys, go check it out. It's heavy, 7-string, slammy, death metal, hillbilly violence. So
that should be cool.
All that good stuff. All that good stuff. So, yeah, we just spoke a little bit about some brutal SA metal. Let's get a little bit broader. So, yeah, without further ado, I believe fellow Cape Town representatives, I might be wrong, but today joined with Philip and Arno of HeavyHops. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, man.
Yeah, man. It's actually so great that we could actually make this work. And I mean, you guys have been busting your asses trying to educate the masses about all things African metal.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, but let's actually kick this off with you, Philip. Give us a little bit of the elevator clip, if you will, of what HeavyHops is and what you guys have been doing.
Yeah, HeavyHops started about two or 3 years ago. Just this literally idea, because like I was in the Middle East for a long time and I came back to South Africa, and it's like, cool, what's new in heavy metal? And I started looking for metal bands, and there was not one single platform where I can go like, cool, this is what South Africa can give me. So I started talking to people, and that's how HeavyHops was born. Just because I couldn't find a single place to get like what's new in the metal world. So I just like started the whole thing like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Simple ingenuity. And how did it all come about with you joining, Arno? Like I've been I've been criticized many times, both of myself and Alec, for not mentioning certain bands. You catch us off every time. So how did you and Philip end up working together on the project?
I was posting a lot of stuff on Ragebreed Africa, and he eventually saw it. And he wanted to know, how the hell do I know all this stuff? All these bands.
This guy knows music. I'm ashamed. It's like he put stuff on there I didn't even knew existed. It's like bands in Cape Town. He knows about it. I didn't.
He knows about the bands in Cape Town before they know it.
Basically, yeah. And I got him on board, and he started just like getting material together and bands together, and that's how he's on board.
Yeah, okay. Check. I was doing this before I met him. I was on Reddit, on that big metal platform there. I was doing it for like 5-6 years. I was just posting African metal. So I already had all the music. I already knew all the stuff. So and it was just making listings and adding music. And
no, that's awesome. It's good that you guys are like evangelists for African metal. That's like super cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
There's a lot of stuff out there we don't know about. And nobody wants to just get their hands dirty a bit and start digging and put stuff out there. And that's basically what we're doing.
How much listings do we have now? We're on 700 African bands, I think, in our listings.
We've got a page on HeavyHops that's a directory of metal bands in Africa.
Yeah, with links, Spotify, Bandcamp.
Spotify links, everything.
That's awesome. That's sick.
That is, yeah.
So, I mean, Arno, with your encyclopedic knowledge, you'll obviously have a pretty good answer for me with this. Like, looking back over the pandemic, right? How has the influx of new music coming out changed since like before lockdown to now?
Well, it was a lot slower before lockdown, and in 2020, gradually, you started seeing more releases, and this year had a hell of a lot of releases. But it was slower before lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, this year has been crazy, chock-a-block, like especially on the tail end. I mean, yeah, I guess we can kind of use that as a little bit of a segue. We mentioned the influx of talent that emerged, especially during the last 6 months. So, I mean, yeah, let's. Arno, we'll kick this into you also. Were there any bands across Africa this year that just blew you away? That just like, wow, like
this year?
Yeah.
Ophiuki. It's a band from Pretoria, based in the Netherlands. They play Black and Doom. He's more well known overseas than he is in South Africa. He isn't very well known here, but that's my album of the year. His album Shibboleth. What else was there? The Ghast EP and album. That was really good.
Yeah, 800 Throats.
Yeah.
Oh man, I drive a lot for work and stuff, and I listen to HeavyHops, and I put 800 Throats on, and I almost rolled my car. That is like pretty cool stuff.
Okay, then another couple of good ones was the Crescent one, the black and death metal band from Egypt. That was really good. And Omination from Tunisia. That was really good. Also,
the Tunisian scene is big.
Yeah, it's a big scene.
It is big.
Egypt
and
Tunisia.
In Tunisia.
Okay, then some other stuff is like Acid Magus, which you probably know. Stoner band from Pretoria. Monstroid from Cape Town. Yeah, that you know. Okay, what else is there? Behest was really good.
And Mr. Morg.
And there's a new...
Yeah, Mr. Morg. Dude, that's pretty cool. I think I don't know when they released their stuff, but
it was... Yeah. When was the...
That's what's his face from Portraits of Flesh.
It's his
brother.
Yeah, it's Calvin Kemp.
That stuff is pretty cool.
It was also this last week was a really cool black and death metal band from Johannesburg, the Sway of Mountains. Yeah, that was really bloody cool. Good. And then also, there's another one like Coppolis from Egypt. It's like a raw black metal mixed with punk. That was also really good. It's like all this stuff is going on my top 20.
That's awesome.
At the end of the year.
Anna's busy compiling a top 20 for the year, and we're going to post it towards in the next week or two.
Wow, epic.
Oh, yeah, here's another good one. Here's another good one. Nayope is a black metal band with like members from South Africa. I think New Zealand and Argentina, I think is another one. It's like they like the whole album is like just based on like South Africa. That was also really good. Like all standouts.
Wow.
Very, very cool.
Lots of stuff out there, man.
And then there's like 40 more bands on this.
There's a lot of bands on that list there.
That's awesome. Philip, this one goes across to you. Tell us a little about the HeavyHops chart, and like, what's the work that goes into it? How do you guys go about selecting the top 20? Yeah, just unpack it a little bit.
That I started a top 10 thing for myself. And I started early on, I realized like I don't know enough. And I shifted everything over to Arno because my brain is too small. It's like, I thought, oh, this is a cool band. And then Arno told me, it's like, yeah, it's been 5 years old. I'm like, okay, I just heard about them last week. And I just like, I literally gave up on the top 20 because I just don't know enough. So I shifted it over to Arno. And he knows all the stuff I don't. So basically, I take care of the back end stuff and make sure everything runs. The top 20 is there. And Arno just do his thing with the top 20.
Awesome.
And yeah. And I'm busy working on it to give the top 20 a proper time slot where we're going to probably present the whole thing as a top 20 package on Monday nights. That's probably good. Yeah, probably going to do it beginning of next year. We're going to start doing it a proper live top 20 show.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very, very cool.
Crazy. Yeah, epic. Very commendable. I guess, yeah, we'll keep this to Arno again because he's got the list and we've got to keep asking some stuff. Yeah, this month being December, quite a big month in terms of releases across Africa and whatnot. So are there any releases that you'd suggest to people to check out this month, like considering, call a little spoiler?
There's a band that I think they're also from Egypt, a black metal band. I don't know how to pronounce the name, Uraeus or something like that. Anyway, they're releasing an album at the end of, and I've heard some of the music now, and it's really, really good. But that one probably won't make it will be too late for our lists.
You guys are going to have another list set for January, I imagine.
Yeah. Every week.
Yeah, the top 20 runs every week. Awesome. Every Monday we comes out with a new top 20.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So much metal.
We can basically play. I think we only play on HeavyHops got 2 channels, the South African channel and the African wide channel. The African wide channel doesn't have South African metal on, so I'm still toying with that idea. But just the South African HeavyHops channel, we can play, I think, 13 days without repeating a song.
Yo,
whoa,
that's hectic. Eh?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there.
Thousands.
And I still know of bands I don't have on there yet. It's like I haven't touched the old school alternative stuff yet, like No Friends of Harry and Dark Detachment and Radio Rats, that kind of stuff. I haven't put it on there because it's not heavy enough. But the back of my mind, it's still there's something I want to do because I grew up with that bands. It's like I saw VOD and bands like that playing in a playground way back and getting thrown with plastic chairs and that kind of vibe. I saw No Friends of Harry. I saw them a few times.
Sure, that's awesome.
Oh, the good times. I'm actually off the cuff. Just a weird little question to you, Philip. Do you think South Africa produces one of the most amounts of metal in Africa on your neutral perspective?
It's a toss-up between us and Egypt. Egypt's got a lot, and Egypt's got a lot of good bands and a lot of bands, but it's just population. Their population is bigger than our one, and they've got some good stuff out there. Because like Africa-wide, I think Egypt, Tunisia,
Algeria, Morocco as well.
Yeah, Moroccan metal bands.
Kenya as well.
Kenya's got a massive, Kenya's got a metal festival. Botswana's got a metal festival. But North Africa and South Africa, they've got the most metal.
Sure.
For sure.
Well, in terms of genres and regions of Africa, what are sort of the more popular genres in like some of the regions? So like I guess in Botswana it's like a more death metal because of bands like Rust and sorry?
Yeah, and traditional metal in Botswana as well.
Yeah, Rust and Overthrust. So like Kenya, your Egypt, what are the like most popular genres in those sort of regions?
Kenya is like got a lot of what do you call it, metalcore and deathcore, but they've got other stuff as well, doom, death metal.
But like grunge and like so maybe it's
grunge metal.
It's so weird. Like I know we never mentioned that, but it's like it's so obscure that like metalcore, deathcore, and it's like that old school alternative 90s like hard rock, dirty like guitar stuff tends to be Kenyans like bread and butter when it comes to metal. But yeah, other countries like Morocco, you guys
all the North African countries is like black and death metal and lots of black metal. They're all like I don't think they really have lots of traditional metal. It's mostly black and death and mixtures.
Interesting. Well, I got a little bit of we can kind of ask this in general to both of you guys, but I mean the one thing is that a lot of the bands, especially in the upper part of Africa, like Egypt, do similar to places like Australia or Ireland. They try to incorporate a lot of their native instruments into the music, the sound and stuff. Now, just asking from your guys' perspective, because you've heard a lot of music coming out of that area in particular, do you think it's a little bit on the nose when bands go and try to use their cultural heritage as almost a selling point to reach international listeners, or should they just be like a deathcore band from the US or something? Like, what are your personal thoughts on, like you hear it in Australian bands with the didgeridoos and whatnot. Again, you hear it a lot with the more eclectic guitar in the Egyptian bands. So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on that?
No, I like it actually. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm with him. It's like, yeah, cultural instruments are awesome, man. If you can put it into metal, that's even better. It's like you bring something of your hometown, you just give it to people in masses, and yeah, it's like I'll learn new stuff, and that's more or less what this is about. I'm keen.
Yeah, there was a really good death metal band from South Africa back in the 90s called Insurrection, which mixed Zulu music. Death metal that was really good. This is really good.
That's awesome. So as we approach the end of 2021, it's been like obviously a very crazy year with very few live performances. What do you see 2022 bringing in terms of like, as things hopefully open up, what do you see the possibilities for like the African metal scene? Do you think bands will travel across Africa to play shows? It's kind of one of these weird things where like European bands travel all across Europe because it's cheap and it's easy, but South African bands and African bands in general play in their region because it's expensive and difficult to travel. But
it is difficult to travel and expensive, but you have to look at your audience as well. It's like the metal scene in Windhoek is what, 3 or 4 bands?
Probably
2. So yeah, and is it not worth it for a South African metal band to go to Windhoek and try to cover their costs? And it's like kind of expensive to go up north just to go have an African tour. So it's really not, money-wise, it's not worth it.
There have been some bands that toured Botswana and Mozambique. But yeah, that's really most of the South African bands. If they go to those two places.
It is a pity that we haven't had a lot of the more like North African based bands coming here, because like you say, Egypt has a lot of Black in Death, and I mean, I know particularly in Johannesburg and even Cape Town, I mean, there is actually quite a decent following for that sound here. So it is a pity, but I guess when it comes to literally paying, almost the same flight prices as what you would to go up to Europe, to go up to Egypt, and through Egypt, the same thing traveling down here, it's tough. It's tough, but I'm hoping we can have a few more African bands. I do believe Overthrust were planning a tour in 2022. Hopefully it actually does happen. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I mean, I guess as we slowly start to wrap up this chat, kind of delving into a lot of names, and we're gonna include a lot of links, and the Heavy Hop links will be in the description to check this, so everybody definitely must. But I mean, I guess from both of your guys' perspectives, and we'll kick it off to Arno first, and then you, Philip. But what advice would you guys give to any of the bands that are looking at trying to get a little bit of exposure, have heard about Heavy Hops, like want to try get listed? How do they reach out to you guys? What's the best advice that you could give to these bands that might be, checking out all the charts and being like, wow, we're part of something bigger?
I don't know. They can just send it to our Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I get in contact with bands sometimes to send me the music if it's not on Bandcamp or whatever. So that's the way we've been doing it. Most of the time, it's just me finding them first.
Yeah. I've got, it's like a little thing to bands. Just get off your ass and send stuff to people. Putting stuff on Bandcamp is not getting out there. It's like you, as a band member, going to send radio stations and stuff. Get your package together.
EPK.
People send me MP3s. I'm like, I message them back, who are you? We're a metal band from Cape Town. It's like, what's your name? that happens. It's like, get a media pack together. If you don't know how to do it, just drop me a message. I will tell you what to put in it. It's like, who are you? Who's your band members? What do they do? Do they play, sing? What? It's like no info. Add info. It's like a media pack. Just add info and send it off. Not to us alone. Just send it off. Get a website. Not a Facebook page, a website. It's like info. Put info on there. Do you know how many bands' website links doesn't work? All of them. There's a little handful of the bands. They've got a website out, but nothing. It's like we've got a bandname.co.za and the link doesn't work. It gets nowhere. It's not expensive. It's not expensive to have a website. Just get stuff together, get your package together, get your media sorted, and send it to people, not me. All of them. It's like I mean about HeavyHops, I'm in people's faces about it. It's like that's how we get listeners. It's like I post.
You guys literally have weeks of music, so it's like obviously you're building your directory, you're building the archive worth of like African material, so people need to jump on board. Definitely not be afraid to reach out. Like I think talking to you guys has shown one thing that you mustn't be afraid to put yourself out there.
No, not at all, man. It's like get your stuff out there. Just post yourself. Basically, post yourself. It's like link us on your band pages, cross-link. Just network. They do proper networking. It's like putting your band on Bandcamp is not promoting your band. So you have to do a lot more than that.
True that. Some pearls of wisdom, some common sense bombs being dropped here at the end of the year, but the bands need to hear this. A lot of common sense, guys. So put yourself out there. Guys like Philip and Arno will be more than happy to accommodate.
And please take a decent band photo of your band.
Album covers.
Yeah, there's some good stuff out there. And if you don't know how to do an album cover, just contact us. We can help you out. We can send you to artists that knows this stuff. They can bang your album cover out in no time.
That's awesome.
And the other thing is, like, if you do send MP3s, tag them properly. Your ID3 tags, just do it, man. It's like small things like that. It's like attention to detail, and just package yourself as much info as possible in your MP3s, in your songs. Is it a full album, or is it the EP, or is it a single? That's stuff I need to know.
Common sense.
Yeah.
Before we wrap this up nicely, I just had something off the cuff. Let's hear a little bit of the origin story around the name HeavyHops. I'm quite curious how you guys came up with that name.
That credit goes to my wife. It's like I was like thinking the logo is also my wife's work. And awesome. I'm a live sound engineer. I do a lot of gigs and stuff. And I told her, like, I want to start a radio station. I don't know what to call it. And she sent me, like 2 hours later, she sent me this.
That's awesome.
And that's where HeavyHops came from. And that's the bunny. It's one thing we're going to start adding later on. It's like, I'm a huge beer lover. I drink a lot of beer. Always. and HeavyHops is heavy metal, and the hops part is for beer. And we're gonna start doing. I love craft beers and any beer I drink, and we're gonna start incorporating the beer with heavy metal and what every country, what beer they have, what microbreweries. But lockdown basically took that side and put it in the back burner. So a lot of breweries closed down because of lockdown and the pandemic. So it's a lot of stuff that doesn't exist anymore. So I have to rethink that whole plan.
Yeah. Hectic. Anyway, guys, it's been so cool chatting to you guys. Is there any final plugs that you can give us, and what can we expect from you guys in 2022?
I've got a few ideas I'm working on. I'm basically going to start a whole merchandise section on HeavyHops, where, because a lot of bands don't have a website, they don't have a ways and means to get their merchandise over. And I'm talking to getting t-shirts made, and it's like put your band's merchandise on HeavyHops, and we just act as a middleman for your band and your merchandise. It's like, and there's another project I'm working on the side, probably going to release it next year as well, but we can have a chat later about that one. maybe another chat in the next 2 or 3 months, and I'll release that. Yeah, just basically for HeavyHops, helping bands out to get their name out there. You help them to set up a merchandising shop. You help them to get merchandising stuff out there. Like simple things, little coasters. Yeah. I've got lots of ideas like that. And I don't have one close now, but yeah. Beer glasses with band logos on.
That's awesome.
I've got, and t-shirts, whatever. Yeah. I've got lots of ideas. That's all going to get implemented next year. But we're going to grow the website, yeah.
Awesome.
It's like a one-stop, yeah. I like a shop for independent bands to put all the merchandise on, and one person can go to one website and have all the South African bands with their merchandising on it. That's a plan for HeavyHops for next year.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
That's amazing, guys. Like, and honestly, like, more power to you guys, because you're doing the dirty work on all of our behalf, and you're exposing a lot of new talent for all of us to enjoy. So
yeah,
again,
and
thank you. Yeah, really, thank you so much for joining. Anna, Philip, both of you guys, you rock, and I think I could speak for everybody viewing and everybody
cool.
in the African continent, all the metalheads around Africa.
Hey,
saying,
give us a shot.
You just keep on rocking. We will keep on listening. And yeah, guys, thank you so much once again. It's really been amazing. And thank you again for all the hard work.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's been a crazy year of metal, guys. So let's see what 2022 brings.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun year.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, I mean, I guess on that note, Alec, what do you say? Are we done for another week?
We're done for another week. So it was really great chatting to these guys. Thank you for the good work that you guys do. It is incredible.
No problem. It's all cool.
Yeah, we will include links to all the Metal Hops goodness, all the contact details, social media. Reach out to them. They're there to help, and yeah, it's just good times ahead. Let's hope for the best with 2022. Next week will be our last episode. Myself and Alec are gonna do a little bit of a breakdown over the last 6 months that we missed out, and no doubt Arno will keep us in check if we missed out any of the names.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you again to everybody that tuned in. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. That helps. And yeah, we'll be back same time, same place on the interweb next week. Shot, guys. Have a wicked week ahead. Later.
Cheers.
Cheers.